next question is, what other albums did you get a chance to work with and other artists on No Limit while you was there?
Oh, C, Silk. Um, Even though it was a small part on Silk's album. His, uh, I forgot that album, but it was Thuggin' Me. And I sang a little part like it doesn't really matter too much to me that you just to girl feel me when P was saying that, if you remember that song. Anyway, that was a song. So Silk album, um Seravone's album, Prime Suspects album, one of the TRU albums, uh one of P albums, and oh, of course, Mac. Lord, how I'm forgetting Mac. Mac album, uh,
Right.
Magic, um, Soulja Slim. So uh, that's the only ones I could think. Oh, Mercedes, of course, Mercedes. Um, yeah. If I don't remember, then that was back in the 90s, 2000s. So
Right.
yeah, but that's
Wow,
what I
that's
can remember.
amazing. That's real amazing. I mean, because you was a part of history. You changed the way that people listen to music. You changed the way that people view the South. You know what I'm saying? You was a major part. You know, you was a part of history. You know, y'all sold a lot of records, but not only just sales, but those were soundtracks to a lot of people's lives. Like you got to work with Soulja Slim. People be like, "That's the Tupac of New Orleans," or you got to work with Mac. People
Right,
be like, "That's the Nas of New
right,
Orleans." Just different things like that. So, man,
right.
big salute to you for making that
Thank you.
contribution. So, oh, you're welcome. I wanted to ask you about a couple artists. So, I was gonna ask you about Mac first and foremost because he just got home. You know, everybody excited. He just dropped a new song, and the song was fire. So, big
Right,
shout out to Mac. So, I wanted to
right.
ask you since you did get to work on his album, what was it, World War III and Shell Shock, or?
It was Shell Shock, yeah, Shell Shock and World War III.
Oh, okay, okay. So I just wanted to ask you, what was it like working with Mac, if you remember, any.
Man, that's my brother. Like the because um what I love about music is like real artists, like create people, like writers and real creators. And Mac was one of those ones. Like even if I didn't write it and it was something, because Mac, he didn't just come up with the raps, he would come up with hooks, and he'd be like, he'll tell me how he wanted to go, or just give me an idea and stuff like that. Like the chemistry working with him was amazing because he was just so talented and so lyrical. Um, and I think um, the vibe of us just really doing something that we were gifted with was just, it was amazing. I really, really, really loved um working with Mac. Like our writing skills together and then putting it into the song used to be like, yeah, like it was dope. It was dope. Yeah.
Hey, thank you for sharing that. I still remember I was a kid, and my mom, she took me to go get that album, Shell Shock. That's one of my
Uh-huh.
favorite No Limit albums.
Hmm. Yeah.
See, okay, so I was gonna ask you, what was it like working with Slim? Even though he's gone, he's like a mythical figure in hip hop. He's like a giant of New Orleans. Everybody love him. He was like, the
Right.
Tupac of New Orleans. You did a song with him. Is it called Boss Man? I think.
I did Boss Man with him. Um, I did Boss Man with him on his what was the name of that album? I forgot the name of the
That was
album.
the second album.
Right. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, I did Boss Man with him. And I also did a song with him and BG, but that was after his
Wow.
No Limit days. Yeah, it's a huge song in New Orleans, like Louisiana, the South. It was a huge song. And yeah, but Slim was that was my dog. We was related, even though he never wanted to admit that. He's like, I ain't kin to you, but we was related because his last name, Tap, is a real close relation. Like I said, my daddy, his mom lived in Magnolia, and Slim was
Wow.
from Magnolia, and we was related to the Taps in Magnolia. So one of the days, because he used to record at his house, one of the days I was with one of the producers, Keno, and I went with him to the record, and his mom was there, Miss Linda, and I was talking to her, and I told her in front of him, like, I was telling her that we was related to the Taps, and she was like, "Oh yeah, baby, because if you're related to one, you're related to all, because we are related or whatever." And he was like, "That girl ain't my cousin," but Slim was cool. Slim was cool as a fan. Slim was just he it's like you knew he was gangster. You knew he wasn't nice, but at the same time, like if he messed with you, he messed with you, and you know, uh, uh, um, what happened to him was so tragic because I really felt like he was at his height. Um, he was really at his height, with slow motion coming in the song he had with BG, like that was huge. Being that he, you know, was coming into his career outside of No Limit. So yeah, yep.
All right, I
Rest in peace,
truly
man.
appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, Boss Man, that's a classic cut. I love that song.
Yeah,
The hook set it off. I'm gonna have
I
to check
got
for the song.
you.
Right, right, sing it. But no, I'm gonna have to check for the song with BG because they got a lot of songs. So sometimes you gotta look them up, and
This
sometimes
one
they don't
was
put all the.
major. It was major because I still sometimes if I'm in Louisiana or if I'm in New Orleans, like you can go somewhere and if they got a DJ, they still play that song. People don't be knowing that it's me, but yeah, it's called its own. So
Right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, because I found that out too. Because certain songs I was looking up trying to find you, and I'm like, wow, you did this song, you did this song. That's amazing. That's
yeah,
truly amazing. Let me see. Okay, this is the last artist I was going to ask you about. I wanted to mention C Murder. You got a chance to work with him. He was the first person you worked with. Unfortunately, he's still incarcerated, but hopefully, he'll be
yeah.
home soon. Find a way to get him out. What was it like working with C in comparison to Mac and Slim?
Kind of the same, because C was um he was dedicated and he was serious, like about he was serious about the music, like the the passion, but it was hustle for him too. So he was serious about it. That's basically what it was. Like whenever it was time for him to go into the studio, it wasn't really like a lot of joking around or clowning. Like, see, he was the type that he come in, do what he need to do, and that's it, and then he gone. Like he ain't mess around. So
Right.
yeah, working with him. Of course, I think out of all artists, I have worked with him the most. Because the only album that I wasn't on, well, I was on Life or Death. I wasn't on Barcelona, but I was on CP3. I was on what was that other album he put out? I forgot the name. Oh, the truest that I ever said. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was the name of it. But yeah, I worked with C the most in No Limit. Because even when like the No Limit era was like dying down and C was still doing True Records, I was True Records ride or die. So um I was still working with him. And it was songs that I think that like one of the songs that was released that I actually had came up with the hook. I came up with the hook before C heard the song, and he loved it so much he immediately put his verse on it. I don't know if he just put a verse or he had did the whole song, but when I heard the finishing part of the song, he had them put P and Silk on the song too. Um, but P pulled a Milli Vanilli on me, and they got Patra to lip sing the song on a video, like as if she was singing it because I was imitating reggae. I was talking like I
Oh
was
wow. Right.
Jamaican. So. But yeah, so working
Mm.
with C, of course, was amazing. I think between him and Mac, it was kind of the same because we all were close knit. We were very close knit, ran like a family, like you know, went places together. So um, it was just I don't know at that time it was just us working together. Like we literally, this was our job, this was our hustle, and we hustling together. So